Okay, hello everyone. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to pen the Jumbo with a variety of different guns at ranges with different shells. So hopefully you are not one of the German mains who cannot pen the front of a Jumbo, which is probably against your fault because its weak spots that people tell you to shoot at are completely volumetric and just bogus. Anyway, we'll be starting with what I'm sure you're here for, the 88 on the Tiger H1 or E or multiple other vehicles. Now, as you can see in the front here, this is a very terrifying sight to face. You've been met with a Jumbo, whether it's a 75 or 76, doesn't really matter. The gun's your only threat. And you have to pen it frontally, and you've got a few options for where you can actually hit it. You've got the front plate here, which is completely immune to literally anything. You can shoot the transmission, but it's just gonna like take your barrel. Oh, it doesn't even destroy a transmission. Something else you can do is shoot above the track. However, as you can see here, it's a very dodgy shot and probably won't do anything. In fact, as you can see, it's pretty rough. It is the most rough shot that I can possibly imagine. It bounces off the track and hits up here. And like, that is a very dodgy shot that you probably shouldn't make. If you go into the protection map with this, you can see that, hang on, the entire front section should be able to be penned, but as you can see, when you shoot it, absolutely nothing happens. In fact, it says that this should pen, and yep, it might pen. Oh wait, no it doesn't. The only real spots that you can pen are this little section here on the right side of the machine gun port, or directly on the little nozzle of the machine gun, which is incredibly difficult to hit if it's covered in bushes, which a lot of them will be. The little roof section here that you may see, that can't be penned, so don't just look at this protection map, go, oh yeah, I can pen that, go into your next match and try it, because it won't work. Now, if the Jumbo comes around at a corner though, you have a much better chance of killing it. Now, the machine gun port is still sort of a weak spot, however, when are you going to get this perfect little sliver and not hit just any of these other spots around it that it can't be penned? You can actually now shoot right above the track or pretty much into the track here, and so long as volumetric doesn't completely stuff you over, you should at least take out a lot of crew, or if you hit right here, well, not right there, but I mean right here, it should go inside and destroy the tank. So that's where you'll be wanting to shoot with that. However, it's still a terrifying thing to face, especially since the only proper weak spot barely works half the time, as you'll see later in the video when we do a little bit of testing. The next gun that we'll be using though is the Panther D, which is also, it's the same gun that's on the Panther A, the Panther G, etc. But the good thing about this gun is, unlike in the previous example, you actually can front plate the Jumbo with a Panther, which is very useful. Like, you hit anywhere in this machine gun port, now it's going to pen. You see, you just hit anywhere you want. So long as you don't hit this little section that's just above the transmission, you should be fine. Or the turret, just don't shoot the turret. So much easier if you have a Panther. If it's angled, well, you can do the same thing that you did before with the track, just right above here, and that should do a lot of damage as well. Now, how about if you want to kill a Jumbo with another Jumbo? For example, if you're in arcade battles, or you're playing France, which also has a Jumbo and such. Or you just get up-tiered. Well, congratulations, you're stuffed frontally, because the only weak spot is an even tinier sliver. If you're using the M61, if you're stock, well, yeah, too bad. But that is the only weak spot that can do anything. There's still this weird little track spot that I don't think would ever actually work in practice, so don't even try that. If it's coming around the corner angled, well, guess what? Even the little track weak spot is barely going to work except for tiny slivers. So you're very stuffed. However, if you are using the M18, you have a bit more luck, because you can pen a tiny bit of the transmission, which should knock it out, right? No, it doesn't. Still, the only thing you can pen is this tiny little machine gun port. And if you come around the sides, well, now you can, congratulations, that was a bit too much of an angle, you can pen under here. In fact, you can pen right into the ammo quite decently, and that will definitely vaporize the crew there. However, it's still a tricky shot to make, especially when the Jumbo's moving or at range. Moving on to the Soviets, if you're using the IS-1 with its 85mm, this will also go for the KVA-5 and such. If it's angled, well, you can just shoot right sort of beside the track, and that will absolutely decimate the crew and the ammo. So that's a good place to shoot. If it's from the front, well, your weak spots are absolutely miserable. You can pen the machine gun port still, but seriously, try penning this from, let's say, about 800 meters. Well, it's a similar amount of protection actually. Now how about if we use the higher penning shell with the APCR? How about now? Well, you can pen even less because now you can't actually pen the sides of it properly. So you can pen less with the higher penning shell than you can with a normal shell, which I think is very strange, but I mean, that's just what's happening here. How even the machine gun port's barely going to do anything for you most of the time. Now here you go. Now, what if you have a PT-76 with a HESH round that has... Sorry, HEATFS round that has 200mm of pen? Well, what can you do now? Well, what Jumbo? This looks like a normal Sherman to me. You can pen it absolutely anyway, just like anything you can with a PT-76. You can shoot the turret with it. But not that part of the turret. You can shoot literally anywhere with it, and you should be fine. You can shoot all down the side, and it will die. So if you have a PT-76, well, congratulations, it will die. The next thing that we'll do, which I sort of forgot about, is the Tiger 2H, which is 6.7. Still works for the 6.31 or the Nashorn, because it has the Tiger 2's gun. Or the Waffenschlager, that's it. But the good thing about the Tiger 2 gun is the gun. You can just front plate it anywhere, just like with, say, the PC-76. You'll be fine. Like, don't even worry. You can pen this thing easily. So long as you don't get very unlucky and accidentally hit this little sliver down here, then you should be perfectly fine. Now, how about if you're playing, say, the Italian Sherman VC Firefly? Let's, for example, say that you actually have unlocked the APDS shell, the Sabo shell, sorry. Well, you can actually, supposedly, front plate it with this yellow here, but it doesn't work, so, yeah, don't try. The turret, however, is now a weak spot because you can pen through the turret cheeks, which should knock out some crew. If you shoot the left side, then you should get the gunner, commander, etc., which will be a very good shot. The machine gun port is still a weak spot, but just as unreliable as ever. So there you have it. I believe that's just about everything that you're going to be fighting it with. Obviously, we haven't covered things like Japan, but I mean, the thing is, if you're playing Japan, for example, your tanks around that, like, let's say the Chiri 2, okay, the Chiri 2, what's the highest penning shell that's got? 151, there you go. You think this is gonna pen it? Yeah, machine gun port, maybe, if it actually works, but when does that happen? Another thing that I would like to add, though, is the back of the Sherman. Now, you may think this is just an easy shot, you see, but the thing is, if you're trying to shoot the back of the turret, be very careful, because you can only hit up here, and if you do, well, look, it's only going to just destroy the turret crew. If you shoot anywhere down here, it will be completely unharmed. Sure, you can shoot through this, but it's only going to destroy the engine. So, just if you're reverse fighting it, you need to be very careful. You also should shoot the left side of it, because that will do more damage than shooting the right. Other than that, there's not much else you can do. Perhaps right through the grills in the back is a good shot. See, that will destroy everything. Now, another problem is that a lot of Shermans, Jumbos, I mean, will have bushes just attached to them. And as you can see, as playing a Tiger, well, now what you're supposed to do. You see all this, but let's try and guess where the machine gun port is. Maybe it's here. Does that pen? Yes, it does. That was a very lucky shot. Let's try again. Will this pen? No. What about here? Maybe that's where the machine gun port is. No, no. Perhaps it's down there? No. Down here. Yes, but try making this shot at a range that's like, across the map, say, 800 meters. To pen this tiny little sliver. I'm sorry, but that's going to be very difficult. As usual, if it's pushed up, though, you can just shoot down the side here, and that should ammo rack it and destroy it. But if it has bushes, beware, because it will be even harder to destroy, and honestly, you're never going to hit that machine gun port. Your best luck now is probably just taking out the barrel, if you can, because half the time that's not going to work either. If you hit it at an angle, well, congratulations, nothing's going to happen. Like, look at this. That looks like a shot that would destroy a barrel. Well, guess what? It doesn't. Now, let's get into some practice rounds with my friend to show you that even though supposedly you can pen the jumbo weak spot, sometimes you just can't. We'll also show you a tactic for getting rid of a Sherman that has gone around a corner. So it's a reversing from a corner tactic that should work if the jumbo player isn't extremely good at the game. So enjoy that. And now for a demonstration that the Sherman can totally be penned in the machine gun port. As you can see, nothing happened. However, as I mentioned earlier, above the track, let's try and shoot there. Whoa, we miss. So let's shoot again. By this point, the Sherman Jumbo has already hit our cupola and all of our crew is dead. There we go. You shoot just right above the track. Hopefully it works, yeah. Okay, now we'll do the corner demonstration.
That was all. You should. That was right on my ammo rack. I actually did not know that. Thank you for that. The thing with these bushes, they're not actually to hide my tank. They're actually to hide my tank silhouette. So you see my machine gun at the top? You notice how that's just barely visible through the bushes? Look when I move my turret to the side. Look at how tall the machine gun is and how much it's hiding my silhouette. That just makes it so people way overshoot your turret and can't identify you if you're a jumbo or a Sherman.
Yeah.
Just miss basic shots.
Okay. Here you've got a very typical encounter with a jumbo. You're both next to a corner. Obviously, whoever pokes first is probably going to get their track or barrel taken out. And seeing as you're in the Tiger, the jumbo's probably going to win. What you're going to want to do is rotate your tank and come out so that your engine deck is facing first, like this. Then once you come out, you shoot them, except you actually hit the target. You actually hit them. Okay. Well, you're going to shoot my engine as I come around, so it proves that you'll be totally fine. So now he's actually going to shoot my engine as we come around. As you can see, it bounces straight off. We can then shoot where his machine gun port should hopefully be. We missed completely and now we're dead. Anyway, as you can see, he can't exactly fully scratch us. However, I'll try shooting my cupola.
Cupola exists.
Yeah. But if it's a cupola, and as you can see, you try shooting the barrel, that doesn't work, so you're going to try and rush away. But as you can see, if he just hits your cupola with a tank shell.
Oh, you want to actually shoot you?
Yes. As you see, that'll take out your entire turret crew, then he can just flank, and it's game over. So that's the fear of when you cross out of a corner. So there you have it. As you can see, you cannot in fact pen a jumbo's front plate like that, and the corner encounter, that's how you're meant to do it, but there's still plenty of danger of you dying anyway.
Jumbo's very different with the corner encounters of the Tiger. All you have to do is take out one track, aim for the barrel, take out the barrel.
Yeah.
And then just get the other track and flank.
Like, okay, so here we've got Panther, a similar little example here. We've got Jumbo poking out from the corner. We're going to try and hit his machine gun port. As you can see, the track weak spot is completely covered, so that's out of the option. Thankfully, the Panther has more pens, so surely it will go through the machine gun port, right? And it did. This will never happen again. This is a rare example of it. Don't get your hopes up. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something from it. Hopefully now you know how to destroy the Jumbo properly. And, well, yes, I did sort of rehash the machine gun weak spot. Just shoot the machine gun that a lot of people have told you about. But I've also shown that the machine gun port doesn't always work, even if you do have a big, strong Tiger cannon. The only reliable things that you'll be able to pen it with are things like the PT-76 with its Wumbo Heat FS shell, or things like the Panther or King Tiger. But if you're playing a Tiger or an IS-1 or a T-4A5 or hell another 75 gun Sherman, well, good luck, because the amount that you can hit is absolutely tiny. Please join my Discord server, that's in the description, and if you did learn something from the video, you can like, you can subscribe,